So I'm going to talk about a layer one crypto that I really believe is going to surprise people. I could be entirely wrong, but of all the various cryptos, I believe that two of the layer ones, particularly SUI and Hedera, are just going to outperform in a big way and shock everyone. That's my opinion. We're going to talk about SUI. First, if you're new to crypto, or even if you're not, let's just talk about the market, and then let's get into SUI. The total market now is 3.6 trillion. This blue line represents the top of last 2021's market run. It peaked around 3 trillion. We've gotten up just last November, December, around 3.6. We're at 3.26. If you see here, it's had a nice run up recently within the last couple of weeks. And so a lot of people say, well, maybe this is altcoin season, meaning where alts really start taking off. I think that's debatable. It could be the beginning. Who knows? Bitcoin dominance, we'll just look at a couple things here, is something that everyone points to once Bitcoin starts losing dominance in the overall percentage of the market cap. It's at 63. It got up to 70s, 72, 73 last time. Doesn't matter if it gets up there or not. What usually matters is when it starts really dropping, particularly you see drops like this. This is when altcoin season, because theoretically money is rolling over into other cryptocurrencies. It's been going up for quite a while. Just recently, and if you were to just look at this one portion of the last couple of days, it had a huge drop. However, it also had a huge drop back here in November, December when the market pumped, and then it continued up. Pi cycle indicator, two averages, when they cross, typically within a couple days, that means this is topped out. That hasn't happened yet. So possibly we may just be in a down part and it may start to take off again. If you're familiar with what they call the phases here, money in Bitcoin, eventually over to Ethereum, and then into large caps and down into altcoins. Now Ethereum has started to move up. That's why there are quite a few people saying, well, we think this is the beginning of alt season. We don't really know. So what does that mean? Well, we'll talk about it at the end because it has to do with pricing. Now, let me say my disclaimer. I'm Brian. I'm a big dumb animal, informational purposes only. Please like, please subscribe so you see more of these videos. I try to do them every day. Most importantly, I have a school community linked down below, but I've got a link now, a new one, for 2 free courses so you can see how I teach. If you don't know where to start there. So now let's dig into SUI. On the list of all crypto, it's number 11 currently in terms of market cap. 14 billion, fully diluted, 40 billion. If we look at the details of SUI, one of the first things I look at is what markets is it on? Of course, as one of the top 10 or 11 cryptos, it's on all the markets, so that's not going to be an issue. SUI is a layer one. If we look at the layer one category, it looks like it's number 6 in terms of market cap. As we talk about the company itself, we'll see that it's in DeFi and gaming. However, on CoinMarketCap, they don't show it in DeFi and gaming, because if they did at 13 billion market cap, it would be number 1 DeFi, and in gaming, it would definitely be number 1. Now, if we go to the SUI website, SUI, the cryptocurrency, was created by a company called Miston Labs with some individuals from Meta or Facebook, I believe some researchers. It uses the Move programming language, and it was built for things like speed. I think I've got a chart here I saw that someone posted in terms of transactions per second, time to finality, so low latency. And at least this is showing that when it comes to Solana, Ethereum, Avalanche, and some others, it has faster transactions per second. I believe that was their goal, something fast, low latency. Now, when it comes to gaming, Miston Labs, who created SUI, also created, or I should say, worked with a company called Playtron. Playtron came out with this handheld gaming system. They sold out of their initial offering. I believe they are delivering in 2025, but they had a recent event, the SUI Basecamp, where they showed these and allowed people to use them. And they have an operating system that has the SUI blockchain embedded in it. It's going to allow you to hook up a SUI wallet for transactions and asset ownership, you name it. I think that's a big deal. To me, it's really interesting to see not only use cases, that's great, but actual use cases coming to fruition. And I'm a big fan of when I see what I would consider real world along with the blockchains. So this is a physical device in someone's hand, and it has the SUI blockchain embedded in it. And it's going to be, I believe, an integral part of what some of these games are able to offer. So I think that's a big deal and a great example of blockchain technology in action. And these should be delivering this year, probably right in time for this bull market. When these first 500 or 600 of them that they sold, people start posting and they talk about it and they show their experiences, I think that will be a big deal. Now let's move to pricing. Okay, so it came out, I believe in 2023 was the initial coin offering. You can see that this is a daily chart, November, December, it had run up to over $5. It came back down to around $2, and it had a recent run up, like everything, around $4. Now, there's quite a bit of crypto right now, depending on when you're watching this. This is early May. And there's quite a bit of crypto where just to get to November, December prices might give you a 3, 4, or 5x return. This isn't one of them, because to get to December prices, it's not even going to give you a 2x. So you might say, well, I'm too late. I don't believe that any crypto is too late at the moment. I think most people will say, well, Bitcoin still has room to go, Ethereum still has room to go, and altcoin still has room to go. So may you want to wait potentially for a pullback if you don't think it's currently the altcoin season. I would say that's not a bad idea. Personally, I'm always fully transparent. I have SUI in my portfolio. And if I were buying it right now, or let's just say if I were entering the market right now with some money that I wanted to deploy, even at these prices, I would still want SUI in my portfolio. There are some other bonuses that I didn't mention. 2 different companies, I think it was Canary Capital and 21 Shares. I could be mistaken, but I believe there's 2 of them in 2025 that filed for spot ETFs for SUI. That's a bonus. There's a very popular investor and crypto individual online, Raoul Paul. I think he's the creator of what they call the Banana Zone. And if I'm not mistaken, he has been a huge proponent of Solana for quite a while. And then I believe he's somehow involved with SUI. And he might even have said that he has more SUI now than he has Solana. So there are quite a bit of people, notable people, and ETFs, investment firms, getting on board. And if we look at it in terms of, you say, well, it's already number 11. How's it going to move? Let's compare it to Solana. That's probably the best comparison of those that are greater market cap. SUI, 13 billion. Solana, 90 billion. All right, what's that, a 7x? And then if we look at it in terms of fully dilutable value, 40 billion versus 102. Okay, so that's a 4x. So it could have a 4 to 7x in my mind just to get to Solana's current market cap, which is only at a price of 171. And Solana has been much higher than that. So I think, and I don't have charting to show this, there's no past experience for SUI, but if the market were to really run, personally, I believe SUI is going to shock people and do extremely well. Even though it's a top 11, I think it's going to outperform the other top 10 in terms of gains. Again, just my opinion. Have a great day. Hope this was helpful. Hope we can all make generational wealth together with crypto. Thanks for watching.